Apparently, this is the kind of content you guys want to watch right now, the real conversations about what is going on in the Pokemon community and dismantling the weirdos in VGC and Smogon. You don't want to watch the best Pokemon player use tanks in Regulation D to set up a Basculegion sweep. I guess that's understandable, but Regulation D is actually pretty fun, but you guys just want to see, like, again, discussion and conversations and stuff. That's kind of also like a YouTube meta right now. So let's break down what is going on here. If you enjoy the video, don't forget to leave a like, share with your friends, comment your thoughts down below. Also, comment other things that are going on. I don't have every interesting tweet coming into my follow feed on Twitter, and a lot of people have me blocked, and I also don't know everything that's going on when it comes to the Pokemon community. I try to keep on top of it, but if you have something you want to see me talk about, I'll check it out. So yeah, we have this. VGC prizing should definitely be improved. We have grown enough as a game where the world champ should be getting more than 10k, except that's just not true at all. The VGC community is not growing as much as people say because of the massive amount of cheating. That's why I say, like, too many cheaters not being banned to justify any prize pool. Like, it shouldn't be 10k for worlds. We have not earned cash prizes, and we need to go back to the world where you just get like a 6-day vacation to Japan or like 5 select locations throughout the world or something. Just make it like an old school kids game show, because no one's getting punished. The scene's actually like super weak right now because of all the cheating, and there's just too much weirdness and corruption going on. And then we immediately get into low IQ takes. Pokemon VGC, sadly, is seen as a way for marketing. In what world is VGC marketing for the Pokemon games? Competitive Pokemon is dead, and there is no capture of the market share that is possible with the Pokemon games or the greater Nintendo or gaming community to get people into the games. No one's watching VGC and going, yeah, this is where it's at. This is what I want to get into. Actually, this section should be its own video, and if you've seen similar comments, please send them my way, comment them down below, or at me at Verlisify on Twitter, where we had Hugs, the competitive Smash player, start playing VGC, went 3-0 currently on the official Pokemon stream for the first time ever, pull up, so we're actually like getting some cross-competitive communities into this. I took the time to watch this, and it was the single most miserable viewing experience of an esports stream I've ever seen in my life. That goes to the failings of the Pokemon Company International and Play Pokemon that I've been talking about for a decade. And yeah, like, it's not enjoyable. I've criticized the casters before where they were, what was it? One of the casters talked about how Sandforce Stoutland gives it speed in Sandstorm, I think, and also like some other blunders. They had Justin Flynn and Shady Penguin as casters, even though they weren't super knowledgeable about the game, so it led to like some very dry commentary, but also not a lot of competitive information. And then 20 minutes of empty conversation by the commentators, then the match lasting like 5 minutes. The problem is that the Pokemon VGC community is just a clique of losers, and it scales upwards to where, like, yes, it's all the nepotism, it's all the corruption, it's all for covering of cheaters, and then you get something that's unwatchable outside of Pokemon, and then only a few hundred cheaters out of the tens of millions of people that buy the Pokemon game actually participate in. But despite that, people say 10k should be a regional amount. The greed. The desperation of the Pokemon VGC community. I keep saying this, other 1v1 esports have a much higher payout. Yeah, but those communities actually like grow and do things to deserve the payout, especially with like the competitive integrity of the community. Now, they all have their problems, like the Smash community with all their underaged issues and just complete weirdos and freaks and abuse things going on, and that's happening in like every fighting game and esport and stuff. So yeah, like, it's weird across the board. Pokemon also has a lot of it, but I don't, like, you keep saying this. Okay, so what are you doing to move Pokemon forward to justify that to the Pokemon company, or at least make it to where there's actually a reason to participate in competitive Pokemon? If you aren't getting cheaters banned, this is just empty talk. But with a Pokemon Company net worth, there it is, guys, the billion-dollar corporation that also has many other avenues of making money. They aren't just making all of their money off of the video game. There's merchandising, there's TCG. The Pokemon Company has many revenue streams, but no, because they have money, they should run all of the events at a loss and then give all of these cheaters more money for winning the events that aren't bringing any attention to the games or generating any significant amount of sales. Pokemon VGC isn't doing any marketing, it's just giving player satisfaction for the people that support the games and then actually want to get competitive into it. So yeah, part of what keeps VGC from growing is the small pot. I mean, we've seen the transition into cash prizes and then like also some other scaling not do anything to get people into Pokemon VGC. What keeps, and see, this is another thing about the narrative. Wait. I thought VGC was growing. I thought events were doing better than ever, even though when you compare Sword and Shield sales to the like couple of events that we had in 2020, it actually just kind of scales. Like we had 25% more sales of Scarlet and Violet compared to Pokemon Sword and Shield, but Orlando, the largest event, only had 35% more entrants. So very small growth, but people are like, oh, it's doubling, or oh, Pokemon VGC keeps growing. But then they say what's keeping it growing is a small pot, when no, objectively, it's cheaters. I don't know what it is about the Pokemon community that attracts idiots and people that have no common sense or critical thinking skills. It is the most basic idea that cheating is wrong. You cannot have a growing scene with cheating. Cheating is only going to harm what it's affecting. And we also have a lot of brats in the Pokemon community that keep Pokemon down. It should be way easier to build a team. It is the easiest it's ever been to build a team, and it's only gotten easier with every Pokemon game since X and Y. I'd bet VGC would get way more participation if it didn't take hours, sometimes days, to make a team. So again, here's like this weird admittance to where it's like, oh, VGC is growing, but it isn't. Cheating isn't a problem because you get Pokemon so fast, except Pokemon take too long, and people are like, oh yeah, you just make a Pokemon in like 10-15 minutes so you get a team in 2 hours. But then people say, yo, it takes days to make a team. So just like the lies and hypocrisy, that's what's killing VGC. That's why people aren't participating, not just spending time playing a game to participate in the game. That doesn't stop any other game. That doesn't stop any other sport. People don't realize the thousands of hours of practice that go into football, baseball, MMA, every sport. Same thing for gaming and esports, that people are in the practice tool of League of Legends, practicing flashes, CSing, and all kinds of other basic fundamental mechanics. Pokemon is no different. Spending dozens and hundreds of hours training your Pokemon is no different than practicing your aim for a first-person shooter. It's a part of the game, it's the gameplay requirement to get into competitive as stated by the rules, and the reason why people don't want to play VGC is because they don't want to spend all that time, immediately get hacked against, and be permanently behind the metagame. This guy's saying 25k for first place, 10k for second place, new Switch for both, and 3 boxes of the newest set would be acceptable. I mean, if you're winning 25k, what's 3 booster boxes? I mean, I guess it is like really fun. Cracking open like Pokemon packs that you didn't pay for, that's like one of the greatest feelings in the world. But I guess like, yeah, it's kind of a neat thing. New Switch, but you're already participating on Switch. Like, these extra little prizes don't make sense to me, but it's like 25k. What has the Pokemon VGC community done to deserve 25k for Worlds? Like, there is a cool dream scenario where it's like, yeah, if I win Pokemon Worlds, that is my career. That is as if I won the Worlds event for any other game. Well, the reason why it isn't that way is because the Pokemon VGC community has been so terrible for so long, and the Pokemon Company International has made nothing of the VGC Play Pokemon product. Now, here we have a top tier deranged take. TCG getting over double is criminal, even though Pokemon VGC is a one-time investment of $60 every 2 to 3 years, whereas Pokemon TCG is constantly spending money on new cards, new decks, new formats, new rotations, and stuff like that, to where you're spending hundreds and thousands of dollars to participate in the Pokemon TCG, while also getting much higher turnout. The barrier to entry in TCG is way higher, but that's not stopping it from being larger than VGC. Also, let's talk about the history event. Why does VGC deserve more when TCG has giga mega hyper carried VGC at events? Like, if it wasn't for TCG, we wouldn't have had most of the VGC events we've seen in the past, because it's just not sustainable. So we have 2020 San Diego Regional Championships TCG, 580 players. San Diego Regional Championships VGC, 79 players for VGC at the end of Generation 7. And even now, Portland Regional Championships 2023 VGC, 469 players. Pokemon Portland Regional Championships TCG, 1,088 players. So why is it that the event that's getting over double the entrance doesn't deserve double the prize money? And I guess it is slightly inaccurate for me to say that VGC is just a one-time investment of $60 because you do have to pay the $70+ entry fee for the VGC regionals. So it's like, yeah, it's just insane. And there's nothing worth it. And then you're going to pay all that and put all this time investment just to get cheated against because no one in the VGC community cares about enforcing the rules. We also saw that with what happened with the Korean players recently. So yeah, VGC doesn't deserve anything. And then it's just a shame that it's impossible to have a productive conversation with anyone in the Pokemon VGC community. There was some random named Neil that was coming at me, so I was like, okay, what do we do about the cheaters? And he was deflecting my small example of the people that have 100% been proven to have cheated in Pokemon VGC. He was like, yeah, but what about Naoto, the 2019 Pokemon World Champion? Like, well, every non-Japanese World Champion is a proven cheater, so you're one example that is inconclusive because Japanese players still cheat despite it being illegal, doesn't really prove anything. So I destroyed every argument he had against me, but instead of being honest and saying, yeah, cheating is a problem in Pokemon VGC, we should probably do something about it, he deleted all of his tweets and blocked me because he has no argument against this. No VGC player does. And then there's also the classic of, if there's nothing wrong with cheating, then why do all these players lie, including Wolf Glick? Once again proving it's impossible to have a rational conversation with anyone in Pokemon VGC, and then, holy crap, him and the sheep are so mad, and then that's like it. It's just hateful people. Pokemon VGC is 99% toxic brats that can't win in a children's game without cheating, and all of their responses and interactions really show that. So I deleted my tweets at the guy in question, and again, I'm Voldemort. You can't ever acknowledge me, but everyone knows who they were talking about, which is always really weird, and publicly vouched to myself to never interact with someone like that again. So trying to grandstand after being proven wrong, and after ignoring the proof I gave multiple times, the undeniable cheating in VGC. It's actually such a waste of time, it's so stupid. Dude doesn't even get enough views to hurt our circuit. Well, that's a lie, or you wouldn't have responded and tried to defend, and then say that I'm the one that's trying to hurt and take down VGC on baseless claims, even though once again, I gave the receipts. We also had the multiple comments early on in the video about why VGC isn't growing and why participation is low. The Pokemon VGC community is in such a tiny bubble, they don't realize like how much market share and how much they're losing by not doing anything about the major cheating problem. And I'm the only one bringing attention to this, and I've been doing so for a very long time. The reason why my views are low is because of all the very high view videos, hundreds of thousands of views, exposing the cheating over the last decade, to where people, they're not going to care about Pokemon anymore, so there's no reason for them to watch my videos. I put the truth over views. Now, I was hoping there would be something productive about this, like getting WolfeyVGC and all the other cheaters permanently banned, that way people would come back in or at least want to stay into Pokemon, but instead it's just a dead game. It can be hard to set the conversation down when people are that way, you know, giving facts, but at the end it feels much better to ignore than engage. But they can't do it. They're so toxic that it's a compulsion. They can't stop themselves from doing it. Amen, brother. Verlisify is nothing more than a blight to the Pokemon community. How? Why? Because I'm the only PokeTuber that's against lying, cheating, and stealing? Saying I'm a blight to evil behavior and bad actors doesn't have the effect you think it does. And then you're real for that though, King. You're real for getting bodied so hard that you needed to delete all the comments and then block the dude. Deranged. But there we go, guys. I love talking about Pokemon. Pokemon is my passion. I love having conversations about Pokemon. Unfortunately, it's pretty much impossible to have good conversations about Pokemon, which is why everything is so terrible. Community is pretty dead, and yeah, it's just weird. But send me some interesting stuff. Keep talking about Pokemon, and then that'll be a way to get through this dry spell of like no news, nothing interesting, no engagement with Pokemon. Just kind of weird right now. So if you guys enjoy the video, hope you have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.